The focus of attention today was supposed to be turning to the EU-Asia summit, but all eyes remain on Brexit, don't they?
Yeah, of course, because Brexit has to overshadow pretty much everything the EU does from now on. This summit this week of EU leaders from Wednesday and Thursday was supposed to be the most defining staging post of Brexit so far, because all EU leaders and the UK were supposed to sign off on the withdrawal agreement, which is the divorce settlement between the EU and the UK, for the UK to move out of the EU and then begin talks on the future relationship. But as Michel Barnier said, only 90% of that withdrawal agreement is complete. But it's not. It seems that that's almost most of it, but the 10% remaining is almost deemed insurmountable. And a lot of that is to do with the diffuse nature of opinion in the UK as to what Brexit means, and also complications as in relation to the Irish border. The Irish border needs to be protected because of the Good Friday Agreement. And with Brexit, in particular hard Brexit, there would have to be a border on the island of Ireland separating Northern Ireland and the Irish state. And that would defy the Good Friday Agreement. So there are huge complications there. You heard the Irish Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar, threatening that there could be violence on the border if if there was any erection of new physical facilities. I mean, that's an extreme interpretation of the impact of Brexit. People don't know really what could happen, but it certainly is one of the things that they have to take into account, because we know that there was 3 decades of violence in Northern Ireland prior to that. So really the time is ticking away. Brexit is happening in March, and we do have that insurmountable Irish border issue to complete.
Shona, what else is happening in Brussels today?
So while today we have, of course, the EU-Asia Summit, it's the 12th EU-Asia Summit, and the message from the EU leaders here, there's 51 countries being represented. The message is defending multilateralism, is defending trade through multilateralism. As a time where you see Donald Trump pulling away from trade deals, you see Britain breaking away from the single market and the customs union. So the EU is trying to push itself forward as the leader in global trade. Now, it's not without its controversy, of course, because there are many countries here represented by people which have very questionable human rights records: Azerbaijan, Myanmar, China, the Philippines. And a lot of MEPs are calling from the EU to really influence some of those leaders by using trade to influence them to do better on human rights, to respect international law and the rules-based system.